And the award for greatest, most awesome, fantastical podcast of all time goes to NOMS Podcast. Get up here. Get up here. Wait. Matches, Shannon.
What?
Wait. It was Moonlight. Sorry. We had the wrong envelope. It was Moonlight, not NOMS. Moonlight, get up here. You deserve it.
What's Moonlight?
Are you kidding?
No.
It's the movie. Oh, it was that show with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. Remember Some Light?
Oh, Moonlighting.
Day. No. Do you not remember the 2017 Oscars controversy?
Oh, that's right. Was it La La Land?
It was La La Land that won for 2
yeah,
minutes.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Some guy who, as my son Groot always likes to say, you had one job. Some guy whose job it was to get the right envelope to Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway gave the wrong envelope. Now, I don't know what it said, but it said La La Land, and it was actually supposed to be Moonlight. Because people blame Warren Beatty and said he was having a senior moment. You know?
Oh, no, I hope not. But, I mean, that's kind of rude.
No, it was. I know they're like, oh, Warren Beatty, you're so old. You doing? Because they thought he got handed the actress thing, because didn't Emma Stone win for La La Land?
Yeah, but I don't know how they would do that. I don't know. That's so weird. I mean, I always remembered La La Land as winning, so I can't even tell you what Moonlight is. They did. Oh, you don't know what Moonlight is? Moonlight is a movie about it's an A24 movie, from what I've been told, and it's about a young man in the rough side of the neighborhood who gets mentored by this drug dealer, great, and has a father figure, and then he grows up, and I haven't actually seen it, but I know that the actor whose name I can never pronounce, Mahershala Ali. You know what I'm talking about? Mahershala Ali. Yeah.
Mahershala?
Yeah.
Mahershala? Yeah.
Mahershala
something like that,
Ali.
Yeah. He won an Oscar
he's
for that.
amazing.
Yes. He won Best
Absolutely
Supporting
amazing. I love that guy. Yeah.
He is great.
That sounds way better than La La Land.
Well, less singing. A lot less singing. But speaking of Oscars, we are about a week removed from the Oscars. Did you watch?
I watched most of it. Yeah.
You watched
I didn't see the opening monologue. I didn't see a couple after that, but I did watch Kieran Culkin win, and then I left for a bit and came back.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Fuller had all the Pepsi he could have before bed that night. He deserved it.
Bless him. I'm so glad he won.
Little Fuller has an Oscar.
Yeah, that's
from
great.
Home Alone, in case you're not getting that reference. That's okay. Yeah, did you see his speech? His speech was wonderful.
Was it?
And it was so hilarious.
Was great. I loved the movie. It was very simple, very, very nice.
What's the movie called, in case I talked over you?
It's called, hold on. I got this.
Huh? Is it A Real Pain? A Real Pain?
A Real Pain. Yeah. I was going to say A Safe Place.
See, I kept telling my wife, I was like, I think it's called The Big Disaster.
Yeah, it's A Real Pain. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. What's his name? Jesse Eisenberg, Burger with cheese. I didn't know he directed the movie.
Yeah, he directed it. I think he wrote it, didn't he?
Yeah, he also wrote it because he was nominated, I think, for writing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I wish he'd won something. I really wanted that guy to win.
But Kieran did.
He's cool to me.
And he made a reference about how his wife had said if he won an Emmy, she would give him a third child. And she was thinking he wasn't going to win, and he won an Emmy. And then she said, okay, if you win an Oscar, I'll give you a third and a fourth child. Thinking he would not win. And he's putting her on the spot.
I don't think it's going to happen, but it
was all in good fun.
Life that way. I don't know.
I think she was kidding, and he might be kidding, but who knows? Yeah. If we got 2 more Culkins coming up, hey,
it's cool. Yeah,
you can think Jesse Eisenberg.
He's been a good actor for a long time, since the mid 2000s. Yeah,
yeah, I agree. He was great in
things he was in. Yeah,
that thing. My brain just went break. The
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He was fantastic, and there was one around 2006. I can't remember the name of it, but he was really good in that.
AB Goes Down.
Some other things. I can't remember.
Maybe. I don't know. Home Alone 17? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm just disappointed A Real Pain wasn't a sequel to my favorite Damon Wayans movie, Major pain.
Major pain?
Sensitive. Speaking of sensitive,
right.
the Oscars just happened. And spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it yet, if you're waiting to watch it, Nora won Best Picture. And I'm going to go ahead and recycle this joke that I've been saying.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. That director was up there.
Was up there. Yeah, and it felt like more than that. Like he was up there a lot.
I think he won for directing. He was also a producer. And I think he won for writing as well.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. The only thing he didn't get was like Best Actress, and he almost did.
He's a quadruple threat there. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like, that Best Actress went to Little Mikey Madison. So, yeah, the Oscars. The Oscars were fun. They were pretty awesome. And I still want to say real quick, the Oscars always, they vex me every year because with the music category sometimes, okay, so you had Wicked this year, which had some of the best music ever. And years ago, when Rent wasn't nominated and Hairspray wasn't nominated for best songs, I thought, okay, maybe it's because it's a pre-existing musical and they just don't do that anymore. I don't know. But then Dreamgirls is nominated for 3 songs, and that was a musical pre-existing. So this year, Wicked is nominated for no songs. Made no sense.
None? No songs?
None. But they still had them perform Defying Gravity at the beginning because they had to. They had
to. Well, I'm glad. I need to see that. Yeah.
Have you not seen Wicked?
I've not yet. No, it's on my top list. Yeah. It is still on my list. It's coming out March 21st on Peacock, I believe. Something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Be there. Yeah. And Nora, I think, is streaming soon. And
I think
some of the other nominated movies.
One, maybe.
Yeah, I never even heard of the movie The Nickel Boys until it was nominated, so now I'm curious.
Man, they shot it in 4:3 actually, so and it looks really good. Yeah,
nice. Okay. Well, speaking of the Oscars, every year they have a segment of the Oscars that does make some people upset too. It's the in memoriam section where they highlight some, and I say some because they don't include all of the people we've lost. And I get it that they include like people who are behind the scenes because they deserve recognition. They worked, even the casting agents or the coffee guy, but they always leave out a few actors and actresses every year, So the in memoriam section, it always leaves out a few actors and actresses. And you would think, it probably leaves out minor ones, but sometimes it leaves out like big names, like Anne Heche was left out.
Really?
Yeah. Leslie Jordan. I don't know how many movies Leslie Jordan was in, but they didn't include him.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I think you or your brother and my wife had brought up that maybe if they're well known more for TV, that they don't get the thing. But I cry bull on that because Corey Monteith, who was on Glee, was on there, and I don't even know what movie he was in.
Well, it was also in the height of Glee's popularity, and that show was a sensation. So, I mean, like it or not, he was the biggest teenager at the time, and it was tragedy because he was so young,
That's true. I'm sorry.
I guess.
I'm sorry, Matches. Frankie Avalon will always be the biggest teenager of all time, okay?
True, when he was a teenager.
No, he's 85. Is he still alive, Frankie Avalon?
Yeah, I think so.
We wouldn't know about watching the Oscars, would we? Well, but they always leave someone out. And this year, and at first I thought maybe if they died too close to the Oscar telecast, like Bill Paxton, they didn't include him, but Jennifer Aniston mentioned his name.
Oh, good.
As they were doing that. So I thought, okay, he just died a week ago.
Has it been that long?
Oh, yeah.
I miss Paxi Boy.
Me too, man. Paxton was awesome. My sister, one of her favorite movies is Twister, and and she's in Louisiana, and shout out to Louisiana. Whoop, whoop. And so he was like the grand marshal at their Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah.
And she got to meet him, and he signed her copy of Twister.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yes,
Twister's a heck of a movie. I always like Twister.
And Paxton's great. Paxton is great. So this year they left out a few, and we had a pretty rough week for celebrity deaths last week.
We did. Yeah. Really.
We did. I'm going to list just a few real quick. We lost Angie Stone, who was an R&B singer who had some big hits in the early 2000s. Yeah. We lost one of my favorites, David Johansen, who was the lead singer of the glam rock band, the New York Dolls. And then in the 80s.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, in the 80s, most people knew him as Buster Poindexter from his huge hit, Feeling Hot, Hot, Hot.
Where did that even come from?
I don't know. He invented an alter ego and became this lounge singer.
Yeah, that's really cool, though. It's fun.
He was also an actor. He was in Scrooged as the ghost of Christmas Past, the cab driver.
Yeah, he was. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He had a very distinctive face. We also lost Roberta Flack a week or so ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Yes. And then tell him who else we lost last week that was really... it was the dawn of Hurtful. Come on, tell him who we lost.
Oh, Michelle Trachtenberg. Dawning herself. Harriet the Spy. Yeah.
Ice Princess.
Too young. Only 39 years old.
I know. And to us, that's very young.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially considering, Harriet the Spy, she was like 10 probably in 96.
Yeah, maybe. If that. Yeah.
Had to be. Yeah. So that was so sad. Well, the Oscars left her out. They also left out Shannon Doherty.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And who else? I'll let you say this one because you were pretty upset about this one.
Are you talking about Tony Todd?
Yes. They left out Tony Todd.
How did they leave out our boy Tony? Like,
I don't know. I mean,
I didn't know Louis Gossett Jr. had died this year, and they said that on there. And where's he been for the last 20 years? Like, I loved him growing up.
He was in the Watchmen show. That was
true. Okay,
he was still making movies. M. Emmett Walsh, a great character actor. You know him if you saw him because he sometimes would talk like this. He was kind of a big guy. Yeah, he was great. Joan Plowright, who was a great English. She had a voice that will sometimes sound like this. Yes. So they left out those. So much love to those actors and actresses and singers that we lost. And gone too soon. And then they did include this person who literally died 2 or 3 days before the broadcast.
Yeah.
The person who is part of our movie subject tonight. And that actor is Telematches
Gene Hackman.
The
Hackman himself.
The Hackman, 95 years old, still not sure what happened. Him and his wife and his dog all died at the same time. We are not doing conspiracies. We don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Apparently she was like already mummified by the time they found him.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff going on there.
It's so sad. I can't wait to find out about
because I want to know. He was the first man we ever loved.
Besides your dad?
Well, we were born around the time Superman the movie came out.
Yeah.
So we knew who Gene Hackman was from the time we were little tykes, Yeah,
me too. Yeah. Gene Hackman has such a huge body of work. He had a whole theory about him in the movie PCU. Do you remember that? The Gene Hackman theory?
Oh, yeah, that at any time a movie with Gene Hackman and somebody else was on at the same time or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember. Was it another person?
It was another person, and then he found a movie with both of them together, and he found his thesis.
That's hilarious. And he wasn't wrong. Gene Hackman had this huge body of work. He won 2 Oscars. The first one was for lead actor in the movie The French Connection, which is basically 2 hours of him chasing a mime around New York City. I'm joking. Mm-hmm. Hey, get back here. Get back here, you mime. Get back here.
What a connection.
Oh, yeah. He played Popeye Doyle. He did not eat spinach. I was fooled. But that movie, I got to say, I have seen it. And even for the 70s, it holds up well. To this day, it has one of the considered, if not the best, one of the best car chase sequences in a movie.
What is it called?
The French Connection.
French Connection. Yeah, I never saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he plays like a precursor sort of the Dirty Harry. He plays Popeye Doyle, like hard-boiled cap.
I know the name. Yeah, I've heard that name before.
Yeah, it's a well-made movie. And Gene Hackman was great. Like you said, Superman, I mean, he was the first Lex Luthor, as far as I'm concerned. There might have been like the version from the black and white TV show. I don't know. But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But Gene Hackman's the one you think of. Maybe. Yes.
A lot of people didn't like his Lex Luthor. I didn't know that. So, yeah. Yeah,
that's weird. I mean, maybe the fact that he wasn't bald until the very end of the first film.
Yeah, but still, he was great. Mrs. Desmocker.
He was great because he gave it a depth of humor. Like, you kind of like Lex Luthor. He's a little rogue. And he did play it as Lex Luthor should be played. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Even if he's
true. I think he did well. I'm just going to say.
He did so well. Gene Hackman is a great actor. And so before we get into who we're doing tonight, what's the name of our show, Matches?
Our name of our show is NOMS Podcast, which stands for
No Other Menfolk.
Nerding Out with Matches and Shannon.
Oh, I was so wrong. That's right. Woo! All right. I am your second in command host, Shannon, and next to me is
Matches McDougal's.
Matches McDougal's. I'm Shannon Popeye Doyle, and he's Matches Luther. I like Matches McDougal's. That's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be. Oh gosh, I cannot believe I forgot. It's like I don't want to be Otis. Don't make me be Otis.
You can be Otis.
I have the body for Otis. I don't want to be.
No, you have the humor for Otis. That's right.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Luther. It's a new
noggin.
suit. It's a new suit, Mr. Luther. It's a new suit.
Ooh. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I hear that Otis is going to be in the new Superman movie coming out this summer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's
got to be. It looks like they're putting everything but the kitchen sink in this movie. Maybe
literally, and they might.
They might, yeah.
So great.
I can't wait. It should be surprising. I hope it's good.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. Anticipation is building. But speaking of great performances, the second Oscar that Gene Hackman ever won was a supporting actor Oscar for what movie that we're doing tonight?
Did he really win that? I didn't realize.
Yeah, he won an Oscar for playing Little Bill in...
We're doing Unforgiven.
Yeah. So I dubbed the Unforgiven.
No, not that one.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, you said you watched the Unforgiven 2 video and you thought that's what we were doing.
Is that enough for the podcast? I don't know.
It's like 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Material?
We are doing...
Unforgiven, man. And he was so good in this. I couldn't believe it. Like, there's a meta quality to it. I'll explain later. But he was very good.
Okay. Yeah, Gene Hackman was known for giving, like, just these great performances. And very versatile. I mean, he played... villains. He played good guys. He played a befuddled senator in the birdcage and looked fabulous in a dress and a wig.
Yeah, that's true. He was great.
In fact, one of my favorite scenes is when they're trying to leave the club and he's undercover in drag because they don't want the public to know who it is, you know?
Yeah.
And isn't he like mad that somebody didn't want to dance with him?
I think so.
It's like, you didn't want to dance with me.
Yeah. I love that movie. It's so good. Nathan Lane. Oh.
Yeah, and Robert Williams. Yeah. Oh, Robert Williams and Gene Hackman. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well,
he still got Nathan Lane.
He's still here.
That's right.
We love Nathan Lane. Well, this movie is from 1992 and is directed and starring Mr. Clint Eastwood.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, this is a movie I'd never seen before this week, Shannon.
And I'm very shocked, but then you told me that Westerns weren't your thing.
No, not growing up. I was very bored by them. Instead of cartoons, our grandpa always wanted to watch Westerns. And, you know, it was just a bunch of shooty things. I don't know.
They were mostly black and white at that time. Yeah. I know, I get it. I thought Westerns were boring, too. And then I saw a movie called Young Guns in 1988 or 89. And I was like...
I don't really count Young Guns as a Western.
Really?
It's a kind of it's fun 80s pop kind of a thing.
It's a rock and roll Western.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why I'm doing this. It's a rock and roll
It's
Western.
good. It is good. Yeah.
I can probably count on 2 hands the number of Westerns that I really love. You know, like Young Guns, 1 and 2. Tombstone.
I've heard that's really good. I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah, we'll need to go do that one. I know.
I won't judge. I won't judge. The original Magnificent Seven from the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
Really good.
I heard that's really good. Yeah.
It is really good. I've gotten to where I like Westerns if they're kind of modern. You know what I mean? If they're done like in my lifetime, I like them. And shout out to my mom for introducing me to a John Wayne one called The Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. You
we were talking about.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a good one. Spoiler alert, John Wayne does not make it to the final reel. And that is why my mom, to this day, can't stand Bruce Stern. He was too good. Bruce Stern.
Love that guy.
I love Bruce Stern. I do.
Yes.
He's terrific. He's great. Quentin Tarantino, he's still casting him in his movies, just mostly roles where he gets to sit down. And I don't mean that.
Yeah. He's got to sit down.
But this movie, Unforgiven, 1992, Clint Eastwood was known for Westerns. You got Hang 'em High, The Good, The Bad, The Ugly, and The Not So Good in a Certain Light. He was known as the Western Man, the outlaw Josie Wales, you know? And then he made a movie with orangutan called Every Which Way But Loose, but there you go. But Clint Eastwood actually got his start on the TV show Rawhide.
Yeah,
yep.
True.
Yep. And
very young Clint Eastwood.
A very young Clint Eastwood. And so he decided to make one more Western, and this was his last Western.
Oh, really?
It was. Okay. It was his last Western. It was written by, I wrote it down because I know I'm going to forget. It was written by David Webb Peoples.
Okay. Apparently, the script had been floating around Hollywood for 20 years before they made this movie.
Since the 70s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you know what it was? I have it written down here. I have to tell you. It was... I have to tell you, because this is hilarious, the titles that they had before someone decided on Unforgiven, maybe Eastwood. It was called two different things. It was called The William Money Killings and Mom, close your ears for a second, The Cut Horror Killings. And we'll get into why it was called that.
Yeah, and we're too good to the horrors in this movie.
Those are better titles than Unforgiven, right? Well,
horror's gold, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, this movie's tying in with the Oscars because it was nominated for a ton of Oscars. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Eastwood, Best Supporting Actor, Gene Hackman, Best Use of Dirt. Best Spurs. No, it was nominated for a huge amount of Oscars, and we'll tell you whether or not they won some. Spoiler alert, we already told you supporting actor.
Yeah, it's true.
But no, this is
I think that year I was just like, what's wrong with Hollywood?
Right, yeah.
Why are they going crazy for a Western?
Well, that's just it. At that time, Westerns were considered dead for the most part. You know, every now and then, like Young Guns would come out, Silverado in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, they were just kind of considered, and Unforgiven kind of restarted them. And what's great about Unforgiven is it's what they call a revisionist Western. You know, it kind of subverts the classic white hat, black hat, good guy kind of genre. You know, like a lot of Westerns probably made after 1980 are considered revisionist Westerns, you know? Not to say the old Westerns aren't great. Yeah. But, I mean, you know, I don't know. Your grandpa...
Maybe a little insensitive sometimes, or, you know, this or that. You know, it's fine. You know.
Dances with Wolves is considered a Western.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is. Dances with Wolves
It's one of the 3 Westerns to ever win an Oscar, actually.
That's right. What was the other one besides one that we'll mention later?
Oh, gosh. It was
Cimarron?
Like cinnamon.
Cimarron.
That's it.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Cinnamon bits.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. No, Cinnamon was about a stripper. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Excuse me, a dancer.
I don't know what it is about movies and horrors, man. I love movies and horrors.
Well, I'm going to recycle the joke that I've been using all week that I don't think your brother liked, but I liked Nora when it was called Pretty Woman. Oh, there you go.
That's the low-hanging fruit, though, Shannon.
It is, but I'll pick it. I don't care.
Just kidding.
Well, speaking of picking, we've got 2 of the juiciest reviewers ever that are going to help us out tonight.
Yep.
Whatever time you're watching. Go ahead and tell them about that, Matches.
Every week we talk to our friends Siskel and Ebert about what they thought about the movies we're talking about, and then we're going to tell you what we thought about the movies that they're talking about, and we're going to give you some sass. No, they're probably going to give us some sass.
Yeah, and I think we're going to give you some old-fashioned lip.
All right, let's get into the review, shall we?
All right, Siskel and Ebert review, Unforgiven from 1992.
Well, we got to get to our part of the review.
Okay. Our part of the review. Here we go, the beginning. Let's do it like
Unforgiven.
It was in a good movie called The Mule in 2018 or 2019.
Oh, really?
Now, I was disappointed because I thought it was a superhero movie where he gets bitten by a mule and fights crime.
No.
It was a true story of an old man who was running drugs for a cartel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he made him lovable. He made the guy
really?
Lovable. Yeah.
Did he direct this?
He directed that movie, yes.
Oh, I don't know that one. That's really weird. Yeah, okay.
I actually don't know the first movie he directed, but once he started, you know, he was already doing great with acting. He was doing some great movies, not just Westerns, but we got Dirty Harry. Remember the Dirty Harry movies? You know? And then there was that one Dirty Harry.
Do you know in which Dirty Harry movie he says, what is it?
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Do you feel lucky, punk? Yeah. Do you know which one it was?
Is it the one called Dirty Harry? Because I think that was the second one. No. Or is it Sudden Impact?
It's the 4th one, Sudden Impact.
Was that the 4th one? I thought the 4th one was the Deadpool.
3rd one.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
we always associate that catchphrase with him.
Yeah. And it wasn't until a few movies in, for sure.
That's funny. Well, fun fact, the first 2 movies, his catchphrase was, "Get her done." No, it wasn't.
I bet it was, yeah.
Well, you know, Jason Voorhees, he wasn't even in the first Friday the 13th, really, but the 3rd movie is when he got his iconic hockey mask. So there you go.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Like, you expect him to always have it, but he doesn't always have it.
I know.
What is that?
3rd time's the charm. Hey, the 3rd scary movie had no veins in it, so... Do what?
I said in the beginning, he's a woman, so...
So confusing. So
Go figure. Yeah.
Yeah. But, so Unforgiven is this great Western where I'll just give it a sit up here. You know, Clint Eastwood plays William Money, who used to be the worst thing on two legs, as they keep reminding him he was a vicious killer of women and children.
They keep saying it, but he doesn't really say anything about it. He's like, I don't recall. You know, things like that. Until the end when he just like comes out and says it, I guess.
Yeah. Like he neither confirms nor denies till the very end.
Yeah. Let's talk about all the people that are in this movie. How many known actors are in this movie?
Okay, how many known actors? Okay.
Jesus.
So we've got Clint Eastwood, we've got Gene Hackman, and let's not forget, I think he was robbed of a supporting actor nomination too, the great Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I was in this movie. He should have narrated the whole movie. They're riding on a horse. They're going into a town. It looks pretty hairy. Not only... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Did you say sprinkles?
Titty sprinkles. You know, it's the classic Morgan Freeman catchphrase. You've never heard this?
I didn't know that. I thought it was homes.com is the best.com.
No, there's this old meme on Reddit where somebody had a picture of him. I think it was blue with white text, and it said, it's weird that you could read anything in Morgan Freeman's voice, and blah, 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 blah. And then at the end it goes, titty sprinkles.
Well, you know, there's been so many jokes about him, like, narrating. You remember in the movie Click, the Adam Sandler film? He's Christopher Walken, like, punches the remote, and you actually hear Morgan Freeman narrating Adam Sandler's life. Like,
yeah.
He had a normal day that day.
That's good. No, he was so good in this movie, man. I was surprised. He was amazing.
He is in the movie, and Richard Harris, the late, great Richard Harris.
Dumbledore, the first Dumbledore.
Yeah, and he wasn't just Dumbledore. I mean, that was his last role. No, I'm just saying, like, he was great. He was the original Dumbledore,
He was great, yeah.
He was awesome. Fun fact, Richard Harris is the voice singing the original MacArthur Park song, which recently got featured in Beetlejuice in a great
really?
Summer. That's him. MacArthur Park, frightening in the dark. Someone left a cake out in the rain.
Man, they really milked that song in Beetlejuice. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
my mother-in-law didn't know the song. I was like, I thought this was your era. And
it was known as a really bad song.
Yes.
Apparently. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It was known for being written bad, and people still loved it. You know,
I mean, Weird Al's Jurassic Park, I think, is fantastical. I love what he did to it. So
that is the first time I was ever aware of that song. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Because
Richard Harris. Okay, I was going to say Richard Harris was watching High Plains Drifter on television when Clint Eastwood phoned him to offer the part of English Bob.
You're kidding.
And he thought it was a prank phone call. He was watching a directed movie by Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's in this movie.
He
calls him and says, "Will you play English Bob?"
So you got Clint Eastwood's William Money, a retired outlaw who like changed his life, became a good person, married a wonderful lady, had two kids.
Had kids, yeah.
Now he's a widower and a pig farmer. Apparently not a good one. And these, I guess we'll go into the details real quick. These prostitutes in a one-horse town, they want to hire him because what happened to one of the poor little prostitutes, Delilah, I think was her name.
Oh, she got cut up real bad by someone just outside of town or something.
Yeah, because she laughed at a guy named, by the way, Quick Mike. I won't say
poor
it.
Quick Mike had a small Peter, and she just giggled a little bit. Is all that happened.
Yes, and he slashed her. He slashed
her face up. And they kept talking about cutting horse up and stuff, and I'm like, oh gosh,
I know, right? So
don't cut the horse up.
Is that what they did back in the day? No. So Little Bill, played by Gene Hackman. I love saying that. Not Little Bill from the cartoon show made by a guy who will never be mentioned. Anyway, so Little Bill's the sheriff of the town. So what does he do to rain justice down?
Well, he has them like bring horses to the owner of the establishment, the male owner of the establishment, and the horse want blood. They want justice.
He didn't even have them pay the prostitute.
No.
Which was legal at the time. They had him pay the brothel owner, the saloon owner.
The idiot brothel owner, yeah.
Skinny Dubois.
Yeah.
Skinny Dubois. And here's the thing. They gave him the horses to cover his loss of revenue. That's how little they saw these women.
It's true. Yeah. Like and she only had a few cuts on her face, but apparently that was enough that she'd always be scarred and never worth anything. So,
but you should never put a knife in someone's face, without them saying it's okay. Yeah. So So the prostitutes raise up enough money. They do a OnlyFans or like a GoFundMe or something, and they
put together everything they have. Yeah,
they literally do, and they try to hire a known hired killer that will go after these two cowboys, and they find William Money. And William Money's old friend was Ned, played by Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
And they just, first they find a guy named the Schofield Kid, who's trying to make a name for himself as a Billy the Kid type.
Well, he's the one that comes up and tells him about the horse gold and the opportunity and stuff. And
that's it.
Later he gets Ned to come on in and go with him. Surprising to this kid that says he's killed 5 people. he's a killer.
We will get into details about all that. The way the movie is genius, the way it handles that.
It is, yeah. This movie is really, I just want to say it's really, really good. For anyone out there watching, it's very good all the way through.
Don't love Westerns but can like Westerns, it's very good. And if you love Westerns...
The first 20 minutes, I was kind of like, I don't know about this, you know. But after that, it was just like, when Gene Hackman starts chewing the scenery, it's just like so good. Yeah.
Well, speaking of chewing, let's get some goobas and some Junior Mints, and let's see what Siskel and Ebert thought about this movie. Do you think they're going to love it? Because I bet there were some critics who maybe thought it was too violent or too...
Could be, but I don't think it was too violent. They've seen worse at this point.
Yeah, it was on a lot of year-end top 10 lists.
Yeah, that's true.
Movies. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say, I mean, like it won and was nominated for all those Oscars. I'm going to say they loved it, right?
Okay, we'll find out. Okay. Let's saddle up. Siskel Ebert.
Right. Look, Ned, with any luck, we'll find him by nightfall or in the morning. Then we could shoot him and head on back with the money.
Clint Eastwood plays a legendary killer for hire working one last job in a Western called Unforgiven, one of 5 new summer movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert, along with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn in their latest comedy. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. They don't make many Westerns anymore, but when they do, likely as not, Clint Eastwood will be involved. His breakthrough was in the spaghetti Westerns of the mid-'60s, and ever since then, his Western characters have been men of few words and sharp, sudden bursts of violence. And that's the case again this time with a new Western named Unforgiven, directed by Eastwood and starring him here as a bounty hunter who wants to enlist an old sidekick played by Morgan Freeman in a new adventure.
All right, so what these fellas do? Cheated guards, steal some strays, spit on a rich fella, what?
No, they cut up a woman.
What?
Yeah, cut up her face, cut her eyes out, cut her fingers off.
Well, guess they got it.
I love how they suddenly, just repeat all the rumors and stuff they've heard.
Yeah. Oh, I thought maybe he was exaggerating. Like, they cut her and mailed pieces of her to her family.
I think people were just kind of getting all the facts wrong and things like that.
Well,
the game of telephone.
I said this was pre-internet and pre-electricity, so
Yeah, exactly.
Something. The art of storytelling.
There are other bounty hunters on the same trail, including one played by Richard Harris, who has brought along his own pulp novelist to
WW.
Yeah, played by Saul Rubinek. WW Beaucamp?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. He looks familiar.
Played by the wonderful Saul Rubinek, who is in a lot of things.
I think he looks familiar.
Yeah, I can't seem to name them off the top of my head. I saw him in an episode of that Masters of Horror on Showtime, and he was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he usually plays the guy who knows more than you think he knows. And in this movie, he's following around English Bob, who is this quote unquote legendary gunslinger, hero of the West, and he's his biographer. And Rubinek was, when he read the script, the character was supposed to be cowardly the whole time and hiding behind things. And he is in a way, but Rubinek, Eastwood said he loved working for Clint Eastwood because Eastwood would direct the actors to find their character and give them freedom to not necessarily improv, but put their own juices in, cook it. And
I can see how he could be that character too, but I like what he did here.
Yeah.
With it, I think.
Well, he played Beauchamp as kind of cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he did.
I love it. All right.
Yes.
Let's keep it.
Okay, because if they show what I think they're going to show in the
Record his
scene,
exploit. Harris doesn't reckon on running into a sheriff who is an old enemy, played here by Gene Hackman.
Well, actually, what I heard was that you fell off your horse, drunk, of course, and that you broke your bloody neck. I heard that one myself, Bob. Hell, I even thought I was dead. Till I found out it was just that I was in Nebraska.
One of the movie's more chilling scenes has Hackman demonstrating to the pulp novelist, played by Saul Rubinek, that it's harder to kill a man than it seems.
Go on, point it. Now all you gotta do is pull the trigger, mister.
Here is a typical Eastwood moment, as other characters do most of the talking, and Eastwood squints and drinks and listens.
He said how he was really William Money out of Missouri, and Little Bill said, same William Money that dynamited the Rock Island and Pacific in '69, killing women and children and all. And Ned said he'd done a lot worse than that.
Unforgiven is a great-looking Western filled with moments of quiet threat and risky face-downs between desperate men, and I enjoyed it on that level in the moment. Its story does not, however, build up much momentum or have a strong sweep that carries us from beginning to end. It's kind of a meandering picture that creates a world and then gives us sharply etched moments in it, surrounded by a somewhat shapeless atmosphere. On the whole, I did enjoy it, but I thought it had a few too many characters and was less organized than it might have been.
Oh,
I agree. It had a ton of characters. Like some people say, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was saying Ebert. Oh.
Ebertus. Like some people say the English Bob character, like you could take him out of the movie and it really would make a difference. You know, as long as you had Saul Rubinek's character.
Yeah, but he wasn't in it enough, I don't think. I mean, what he was in actually moved the story along, I thought. Made it better.
I thought it was great,
they
too.
even if they used him as kind of a set piece to, you know, whenever Hackman's talking to the writer and he's sitting in jail, like there's some of the best moments I've ever seen in movies right there.
And
Like,
yeah, and you were talking about him being like a set piece or an action thing. You're right, because through English Bob, you see how like evil and just dark Little Bill is, and how violent he can be.
because he's almost a likable guy, but he's so evil.
Yeah, well,
like
the thing is, like in most Western movies, Little Bill, you know, he's the sheriff of the town. He'd be the good guy.
Yeah.
You know, the no good posse running into town, and he's got to stop him and drive him out, James Stewart style, you know?
Yeah, but am I wrong that when he was talking to Bill at first, I mean, he's kind of just like these characters that are coming into town before all this.
Isn't it hinted that Little Bill had like a bad criminal past too?
Yeah. He's just like these people, and he's just a bully, you know, trying to, you know, take everybody's weapons when they all have weapons, you know? Like
that's the rule in the town, no weapons. Well, he's a state-sanctioned bully, kind of. He's got the authority. And he's using his power to do what he wants, you know?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's why the character's so awesome.
It's true, though. Yeah, and he plays it so well. That's why it's awesome. It's so he's just almost it's so understated, you know. And,
Well,
I'll talk about it a little more later. But we was talking to W.W. Beauchamp. He's talking about how you shoot a man, you know. And it's like you have to, if you remain calm, you know. You'll hit him or whatever, and he's like, "What if you don't?" Well, then you don't. You know, it's like you get that scene at the end where they're all firing on Clint Eastwood, and he's just standing there, like, and then he shoots them all dead. Like they all miss. Every one of them misses, just like he said in that scene.
They all got the yips.
Yeah, they did, and he was the one that was cool, calm, collected, and just did away with them immediately.
Well, let's see what old Silver Boots Siskel thought about it. We've heard from Eagle Eye Ebert.
That was precisely my reaction. Eastwood, he's playing the strong, silent type. But boy, I thought this was a little too silent, and I thought that the picture really was overdrawn. And then I couldn't understand some of the characters. Why they were stuffed in there. The Richard Harris character isn't really necessary at all. It could have been more of a showdown with Hackman and Eastwood. I wanted Eastwood's character to be enlarged, frankly. I thought he was sort of small.
They wanted a completely different movie. Again, I just want to say this because it's weird because how long does it take for them to even get to the town? Like an hour?
It takes like over half the movie. Yeah,
it does. Like they don't see each other until it gets. But I think what's going on, between them and the kid and everybody in town is great. Like you don't need your heroes to meet up yet, and they really do just kind of meet up at the end. Kind of
exactly. Well, I mean, they call it meandering, but I don't agree because I don't agree. No. Yeah, every character and scene has a purpose, and it builds, like you said.
It does, and it's obvious. Like the script is so solid.
Well, this is kind of shocking. Do you think they both gave it thumbs down?
It looks like it, yeah. But I mean, this was like an Oscar favorite. This was a huge movie that everyone went to and said, Unforgiven was awesome. It's a Western. Yeah, I know. It was still awesome, Yeah,
like people your papal's age who loved Westerns loved it.
Yeah, people our age loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, teenagers at the time. We were teenagers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but here's the weird thing. I read that Ebert actually put it on the best of 92 list when they did their year-end list.
Interesting. I want to agree on him. We might have to go and see if we can find that, but to see what he says about it. Yeah. Well, let's finish this.
We'll finish it.
And great looking to be sure, but lifeless.
When you mentioned the Harris character comes in and he brings the Saul Rubinek character with him, and then Hackman has to have a scene with the pulp novelist who is this Easterner who doesn't realize cowboys are for real. And that could have been another movie.
Yes.
But you could come out of this movie and not change a single thing about this film.
And Morgan Freeman's a wonderful actor, but I didn't think that character was anything special either. Okay, next movie, and our next film is a...
Oh my God.
So, full screen us. We're about to have a showdown with Siskel Ebert. You ready to match this?
This is true.
Pistols at dawn.
Let's see. Hold on.
My goodness.
Oh, let's see. Do we want to try to find best of 92? Is that it?
I mean, if you want to, we could just say Ebert put it on the best. I thought he put it on the best of 92. Maybe.
Let's see.
I don't know, but
well, they do have it. Let's see. Oh, gosh, hold on.
Hey, I will say Siskel put One False Move on there, which was a Bill Paxton movie.
Uh-huh.
Kind of an independent film. Billy Bob Thornton had a very good role in that movie before he was well known. Yep. And that movie.
Oh, really?
That movie, One False Move, is the movie that my parents realized that he actually made a success in acting. Because we're watching in the living room, and my dad goes, "Hey, baby, ain't that Coach Thornton's boy?"
Oh, wow.
Because Billy Bob is from Arkansas. Yes,
that's crazy.
He lived in my town of Mount Holly for 2 years.
That's insane.
His dad was the b-ball coach. Yeah. We can talk about
got his fear of antique furniture from, I'm sure.
We had a lot of it in Mount Holly just for moments.
Okay, I found it. Let's see what
more sober films are necessarily better. I like this picture a lot.
I don't know that Woody Allen has that thesis, but I did enjoy the movie a whole lot. It didn't make my list, though, because well done as it was, it didn't really do anything new, but I did enjoy watching it. Okay, next movie, and the number 9 movie on my list is Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven, a Western set at the moment when the Old West was turning from a real place into the subject of legend. Eastwood plays a retired mad dog gunfighter who comes out of retirement for one last job and finds himself up against a sadistic sheriff played by Gene Hackman.
I've killed women and children. Killed just about everything that walks or crawls at one time or another. And I'm here to kill you, little Bill. What you did in that.
The fact that Unforgiven is in my top 10, Gene, requires, I guess, some explanation. I gave a thumbs up on our show, but I didn't react to it as best film of the year material, maybe because I was somewhat distracted by viewing it on the eve of my approaching matrimony. My attention was elsewhere. Last week, I looked at the movie again with a somewhat better focus, and I realized fully what a good movie it is, how well acted and directed, and especially how well written by David Webb Peoples, who has some dialogue here that deserves comparison with Hemingway.
Here, you call the film shapeless and too full of characters, and I think that that's what I felt, too, the first time I saw it. I know Eastwood was trying to do a revisionist Western where the bad guy is bad, frankly, and these are guys doing grungy work. But at the same time, I thought the film was overstuffed, and I can't lionize this picture. And I looked at it a second time, and I
don't think so. Now that I've seen it again, I do not think it was shapeless. I think maybe I thought it was shapeless because I wasn't paying attention to it. I have to confess this right in front of you and everybody else. I think this movie is superbly well written, and I think maybe my mind was just drifting, to tell you the truth.
I think I liked you better 5 months ago. I liked your mind better 5 months ago.
Oh wow, yeah.
So,
I'm glad we did that because
me too.
I really want. Yeah,
I'm so glad, yeah, because the movie came out in August. So, like he said, within 5 months, Ebert was like, I was wrong.
Yeah, good for him, man. That must have been hard for someone with his egos as big as those guys, like because they're so good at what they do. That's fine.
Yeah,
they have egos, they do.
He said he gave it a shaky thumbs up. So.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't realize from that review that they gave it thumbs up, or he gave it thumbs up.
Me either. I thought it was a big
couldn't tell.
Or a
I'm thinking Siskel gave it thumbs down. Maybe he didn't say, but
and see, I don't feel like the movie is overstuffed. I feel like it's got a good pace. Yeah, it's got a lot of great actors.
There's a lot of moving parts, and they work together. They're not working against each other. Is the thing. And this is one of my favorite movies I think I've seen in a long time. I think Unforgiven might be in my top 20 of movies ever.
It is definitely in my top list of whatever numbers. Yeah, because I can count very well. No, you were talking about English Bob. Like he is necessary because Little Bill beats the ever-living Worcestershire sauce out of this movie, as an example.
At the very beginning, because, they're talking back and forth, and then all of a sudden, and just calmly, too, it's kind of like how he was describing how you shoot someone. That's kind of how his acting was in this, I think. If you're calm and collected, and, you'll hit your mark, or whatever. And this is kind of how he's playing this character, too. I was thinking it's a little bit meta, because he's taking that, and it seems like to me, his choices are, directly based off that one line, maybe.
Yeah. And we were talking about how Gene Hackman at first told Clint Eastwood no because his kids were telling him, "Daddy, you make too many violent movies."
Yeah.
He was in too many violent movies. He said, "I can't do another violent movie." And Eastwood said, "Wait, hold on." He said, "I think we could do something with this movie that condemns violence." Yeah. And it does, because like Gene Hackman was poking holes in Saul Rubinek's romanticized dime novel version of the West, this movie pokes holes and does not glorify violence. I mean, there's some great action scenes in it.
There is violence in the movie, don't get us wrong, but it doesn't leave you feeling satisfied at the end. It leaves you feel, all these people are bad. All of them are bad.
Like Clint Eastwood has reformed and Morgan Freeman has reformed, but they're still bad.
But they're still bad people. It's true.
Like, Little Bill's just
there's no happy ending for anyone, and maybe they shouldn't have one.
I mean, I don't know about that. The Schofield kid lives. Can we talk about him real quick?
Yeah, he was great, wasn't he?
Yeah. Played by a guy that you think you've seen 1,000 times, but you really haven't. James Woodvin or something.
Yeah, has he not been in anything really?
He was. Let me think. He was in something that you. Okay, he was in a few other things that you see him, but he hasn't been in a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of the one movie I'd seen him in again because I was like, he always looks like that other actor who looks like that other actor. I swear I've seen him in 1,000 movies and I haven't.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But he recruits, like you said, he recruits William Money, who's got a legend about him. And of course, William Money doesn't want to do it, but his pig farm is about to, go belly up. And so to help his kids and to give them a legacy of money and wealth, he decides to take the job. And turns out the Schofield kid is not the Schofield kid that he's making out to be, is he? For one, he's nearsighted.
What?
Yeah, he's nearsighted. He's never killed him.
He's pretty blind. Yeah, he just doesn't have glasses at all. I guess if I didn't have my glasses, I'd be able to see blurs and stuff. I think my eyes are worse than his without my contacts on. I'll say that.
Really?
But let's see. The producer was telling me to look up the guy who was Quick Mike.
Yeah, Quick Mike. Who
his name is David Mucci.
Texas Slim, not Quick Mike. I'm hearing in my
from the booth. He's saying Texas Slim. Let's see.
Really, from the booth, I'm hearing snap into a Slim Jim. Am I wrong? Am I hearing that wrong? Maybe I'm just hungry.
Let's see.
Could be.
It might not be on the first.
You go ahead and look him up.
Let me see. We got to see who this is.
Okay.
But that other guy was in some things.
Quick Mike?
He was in Half Baked. He was in. Some stuff.
Okay. Well, we would be remiss in not saying we're talking about great actors. Frances Fisher, who looks like she was screen printed into Lucille Ball, and she can't get out of it. She's redheaded. I think her and Clint Eastwood were a couple
Lachlan
after this
Monroe.
movie. Oh, go ahead. What you were saying?
It's Lachlan Monroe. You know that name?
Oh, I do know Lachlan Monroe from Dead Man's Curve.
That's who it was. Yeah.
Not Dead Man's Curve. Dead Man on Campus. My bad.
Dead Man on Campus. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he was Cliff.
Man, I gotta watch that movie again. Is it streaming?
He's actually maybe. I don't know. That's a great movie.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
He is a cool actor. He is in a lot of stuff. I cannot name a single thing off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, but oh man, just looking into stuff from the 2020s to the 2010s, I'm just scrolling the wheel down. It's like, oh my god, there's so many things.
Well, did you hear what I said about Frances Fisher?
What'd you say?
Oh, Frances Fisher. Yeah, not Frances Farmer. That was the Nirvana song. Frances Fisher. She's in this movie. She looks like Lucille Ball, but she got like screen printed and she can't get out of the look. She's redheaded. I think her and Clint Eastwood had a romance after this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were together for a long time.
She was the madam, I guess.
Yeah, she was the madam. She was probably the most prominent female character.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was great in this movie, and she always looks mad. Like every time I see her, she looks like she's like 5 cigarettes away from slapping you.
Yeah, she was Strawberry Alice. That's what they got.
Strawberry Alice. Yeah, I did read that Lachlan Monroe was in this, and then I forgot. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah. No, like I said, the movie's great. The Schofield kid turns out to be kind of a coward. Yeah. So he's not the Billy the Kid that he thought he was.
He didn't kill 5 people. He killed no people until this movie.
He killed the guy in the bathroom.
And he almost didn't make it out because he stayed a little too long for my comfort. I was like, you need to get out of there. Just do it. And he awkwardly shoots him 3 times on the shitter. You know, he's the dude's on the outhouse, like just trying to pinch one off and just shoot him or don't. You know, just shoot him or don't. Well,
that's why you always had your gun with you, no matter what. You weren't safe in the Old West. Like, I'm trying to make it number 2. I never shot
anybody, but you know, in that situation, I probably could. You know, like just quickly and run away.
Right. Like
sort out your feelings later. You know.
You know, Matches. I don't think people enjoyed the bathroom like we get to with our modern conveniences. You know.
That's true. Yeah. But imagine being hot and sweaty in the Old West, and someone opens the door on you and points a gun at you. That's the most uncomfortable I think anyone could be.
And that guy's probably thinking, "Can I finish?"
Yeah. Did he get to finish?
He didn't. And then Ned misses a guy because his nerves get the best of him, and he decides he's going to retire and get out of there. But
just all of a sudden, like, can't do it, and he wants to leave.
Yep, and he does. And William Money's like, "All right, you can go." But then Little Bill gets a hold of him, and mercilessly kills him.
Yeah, I wasn't comfortable with the choice to whip a black man, but.
I mean, I get it, but if you think about Little Bill would have whipped anyway. He whipped English Bob.
Exactly. He was an equal opportunity whipper.
Yeah, he's not racist. He's just evil.
Yeah, that's true, though.
Which racism is evil. I agree.
Yeah, but apparently he roughed him up too much. We don't even get to see what happens to him.
No.
We just get the report later, which I think is cool.
We see his body.
I don't want to see Morgan Freeman, like, you know, tortured until he accidentally dies, you know?
No. And his body is on display in a coffin outside the saloon.
Yeah, with the sign hanging around his neck or around the coffin.
Yeah. It's a sign that says, "He was great and lean on me." Am I wrong? No. And so Clint Eastwood, you know, after all that stuff, they take it out the 2 varmints. He knows what happens to Morgan Freeman. He knows that Little Bill's going to be forming a posse to look for him. So he goes to him, and the showdown in the saloon is great because remember the first person that he kills?
Which one?
He kills Skinny Dubois, the owner of the saloon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Who in most movies would be exempt.
What was his reason? I forgot.
He said, Saul Rubinek, like he's watching it, and Gene Hackman's already given him the fact that this is not a romantic, you know, thing. And he's like, "You shot it on our man." And he's like, "He should have thought about that before he decorated the saloon with my friend."
Oh, yeah, that's it. It was his saloon that Morgan Freeman was.
So he shoots Skinny. And then Gene Hackman is like, he's got 1 bullet left in his shotgun. When he shoots me, kill him, you know, start shooting him.
Yeah.
And so Clint Eastwood, like, it misfires. The gun doesn't go off. And then, like you said, they're all shooting at Eastwood.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's just standing there, like, looking at him like, "You fools."
And he does warn them. He's like, "Anyone who doesn't want to be killed needs to leave right now."
Yeah, that's when the rest of them leave, right?
Yeah, but that's funny, but there's also a funny moment whenever he identifies the saloon owner. He's like, you know, "Who owns this place?" He's like, "I do." And he tells the guy next to him, he goes, "You better move." And he goes, "Yes, sir."
Huh.
Remember that?
Wow.
He takes off. And so he takes down Little Bill, and it should be satisfying. But you know that, like, William Money has given in to his bloodlust again, And but it does have kind of a happy ending because apparently he goes back to the pig farm.
Yeah.
And moves his kids to San Francisco, I think it says.
Yeah, something like that. And his kids were still alive after all that. I was surprised. They were just left home alone with the pig fevers and the, just fend for themselves. I guess they could make dinner for themselves. I don't know.
I guess. I think at the time, being a kid wasn't as carefree as it is now.
Yeah, they had skills to pay the bills back then because they were child labor.
Do you think his son was like, Dad, you better get money because we need the Wi-Fi back on? Ugh. I can't believe you. You're so cringe, Dad. You're so cringe.
I felt for this mom at the restaurant the other day who was like, please don't tell my son that syrup exists. He has no idea for his pancakes. It's like, oh, I feel ya. Yeah.
That syrup exists.
Never told him syrup exists for pancakes, so he doesn't eat a bunch of sugar.
I think it's adorable. But yeah, so this movie's adorable. I mean, it subverts the Western genre. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say we're going to wrap it up here.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. It's a good rumination of violence. Deserves every Oscar it won. It won Best Supporting Actor. Did it win anything else? I can't remember. Oh yeah,
I can't remember.
It won Best Picture.
Oh yeah, Best Picture for sure.
And Best Director for Eastwood.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my God. Yep. Yeah, it won everything. And I'm thinking the Oscar list came out and it mentioned Unforgiven on there so many times. He was like, I'm going to give this another chance.
You think Ebert was like...
I guess he was getting married the next day? That's crazy.
He was nervous about his wedding.
Wedding, yeah. But that's funny because people are always asking, did he ever change his mind about anything? And this is one they never mentioned because it was just lost. It's lost to time, I guess. He changed his mind about Ace Ventura or... Jim Carrey.
The works of Jim Carrey, yeah.
Yeah, and there was one more he went back on, and I can't remember what it was right now, but yeah.
Huh. Okay.
That's cool. We'll have to that.
Well, Unforgiven is a great movie that it's got so many great scenes. That scene at the end of the saloon when, William Money is just in full kill mode. And he's like, yeah, I killed women and children, and, and now I'm going to kill you. And,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then as Gene Hackman is dying, he's like, I don't deserve this. And Eastwood says, deserve it ain't got nothing to do with it.
I kind of feel bad for him because, he's just trying to build his house. And all these people keep coming in his town.
That is not true. He's trying to build a house where he can watch the sunset.
Yeah.
He never gets to see.
He never gets to.
Never gets to finish the house.
I almost feel bad for him, but yeah.
I think he was very deserving of this Oscar. I mean, Gene Hackman.
Oh, yeah. Like,
the man was great. The man was great in a whole lot of things, but this, I think, is one of his definitive.
I've never seen anything like this. I'm just going to say his acting was phenomenal. It was just understated and done so well. Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's not flashy. And like you said, he's evil, but he's also very honest.
Yeah, he's honest, he's calm, he's collected, he's smart, very, very smart
and sometimes that is the best of villains.
Yeah.
Like Javier Bardem in sort of a modern day Western No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
He's soft-spoken.
I love that movie, but I still also don't love that movie. I don't know. It's really short. It's real short. Like,
you thought it was short?
I've watched it a couple times and I'm like, I guess I get it. Well, he was great in it, but what was the point? I don't know.
I thought, what? A lot of people would think I wouldn't love that movie. That's, I think, one of my favorite movies.
Did you actually like it?
I loved it. And I'll tell you what, I think it does have an ending, but and the reason I say that is because I'm not proud, but I was watching Comedy Central one weekend after No Country had come out and, gotten all the awards and stuff. And Larry the Cable Guy was hosting a marathon and he was talking about his latest epic, Witless Protection. And he said, hey, go see our movie. It's just like No Country for Old Men, except it has an ending.
Oh, dang. Witless Protection.
Oh, it's just like No Country for Old Men. You close your eyes, it is like you are. He's like, call it.
No, I appreciate the filmmaking, the cinematography of that movie. I appreciate Javier Bardem in that movie. I appreciate what happens in that movie. I just don't understand all of it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can talk about that movie another time. Maybe we can get an Ebert and Roper episode out of it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, we're an hour into it already, so we got to get to the.
Yeah, let's go. Let's rate.
How do we feel about it?
Okay. I will say out of 5. Okay, you know how Clint Eastwood has this is really good at saying nothing, but he has this one line in most of his movies, especially in his later years, and it's this: You know, like he just lets us discuss that. Like Gran Torino, every line is okay.
Well, he was literally old man yells at cloud sits on line in that movie.
Yeah, but that's another great movie though. That's another.
I still haven't seen it. Still have not seen it.
It's great.
Yeah, I hear it's great. Yeah.
He's horrible at first and gets more likable as the movie goes on.
Good. That's what.
And I mean that in a good way. That's the way the character was supposed to be. Yeah. So okay. So out of 5, I give it 5. This movie is great. If you like or love Westerns, it is wonderful. It is well acted. It's fun in its own way. It's got a sense of humor about it and where it needs to be. So I would recommend this movie. It's great.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I give it 5 WW Beauchamps out of 5. Love that name. Love that guy.
You gotta love it.
He's there till the end, just trying to get like somebody's story down. You know,
he is. And Clint Eastwood. Oh, he tells him. He goes. He's asking as he shot everybody. He's writing down. He goes, "Who did you shoot first?" And he points together. And he goes, "I know who I'm going to shoot last." And he takes off, and he's gone.
So good because it happened so fast. All those people just dropped 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then he yells as he's outside. He's like, "I'm leaving, and if you don't give Morgan Freeman a proper burial, I'm going to come back and I'm going to kill you and your wives."
Yeah, but he's like, if I see anybody out there, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. Oh, he says, if anyone takes a shot at me, I'll kill you and your wives.
Yeah. He knows it's not going to hit. He just knows.
No. And if you think about it, most of the town, they're supposed to give up their guns when they go into town.
Yeah.
So most people aren't.
The whole town has guns. So it's like...
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, no.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That was Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. Yeah. I love it. Woo.
Now, for those of you who are new to the show, if you are new, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't run away. We got the funnies coming, I promise you. But just wanted to let you know that once a week, I attempt to write a theme song for our show that I would say hits the heights of musical domination and just carries the wishes and the loves of a generation. And then oftentimes I just end up sounding like William Hung. So, you know.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Matches?
I'm ready.
Are you ready to run for office?
I'm ready.
You ready to get weird?
Yeah, I guess.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
What?
Here we go. All right, Matches. Start me off with a beat. I need you to go. And then stop. Matches sat alone in front of a screen, wanting to broadcast something to make the people scream. Here comes Shannon in his Steven Tyler pajamas. Hey, let's talk about the 3D version of Piranha. It's NOMS. It's NOMS. It's in your head. It's NOMS. It's NOMS. It's NOMS. Yikes, it's Judge Dredd. I'm the law. NOMS is the podcast that you'll love. Siskel and Ebert are reviewing from above. You'll live, laugh, and love and want some more. From Denzel Washington to Gene Triplehorn. It's NOMS. It's NOMS. It's in your head. It's NOMS. It's NOMS. It's NOMS. That's what she said. NOMS. NOMS. Nom, 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 NOMS. Is NOMS the greatest podcast? I think so. Don't. Will NOMS make you laugh? I think so. Don't. Is NOMS the greatest podcast? I think so. Do. Is Shannon run out of gas? I think so. Ooh, it's coffee house poetry night. I gotta say, if you heard a weird noise, that was Rocket opening the door going, stop.
I knew it. I knew I heard that.
Oh, man.
Oh, kids.
Oh, everyone's a critic.
What can you do?
I don't know. You know, one time when we were doing the song, she opened the door and my wife, I could hear her goes, is something dying in there?
I remember that. Yeah.
That was like my career.
That's quite a few NOMS ago. What NOMS are we on now? Like
oh, my
20?
gosh. I don't know. Are we on NOMS number 100?
No. We're on 20-something, I think.
I think so. I think we're a young adult now. We should be figuring out what to do with our life.
Anyway, your song was good this week.
Oh, yes!
For me to poop on.
So now we're going to go into the part of the show that Matches loves, and I want to see how it goes. So maybe we do a weekend thing. We don't, put labels on it.
That's true.
It's called.
You ready?
I'm ready. Ready.
The
video movie corner pick of the week. Brought to you in stereo.
It gets worse every week.
It does. I love it. I love it. This is the part of the show where, like you said, we highlight movies that maybe Siskel and Ebert didn't touch, or maybe they came after. And they're particular movies that we love that we think you might just like too. Do you want to go first?
Absolutely. I would like to go first if that is okay.
Positively.
My video movie corner pick of the week this week is, well, in theaters, it was called Dread 3D.
You're kidding. I almost picked that one.
Are you serious?
Yes. I cannot believe that you're going to do. I cannot believe you're doing Aquila and the Bee.
No. Dread 3D.
Are we talking about the Dread from the 2000s, the good one?
Dread from 2012, the really good one? Yeah.
I'll let you take the reins.
And Olivia Thirlby, and of course, Carl, what's his name?
Urban. Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Yeah, of course. I'm stupid. He's the Carl with the K.
And he's in more things than you think.
Oh, he's in so many things.
He's in Lord of the Rings. I always forget that.
Is he really?
Yes, he is. He's not Theoden, but he's Theoden's nephew, who's like the great warrior.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
really
crazy.
Long hair.
Well, Dread 3D, we saw it in 3D in the theater for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were just floored at how it didn't take itself too seriously.
No.
And that's what made it so good to me, I think. Like, it was just a very contained movie. It's a contained,
literally,
action thriller, high octane, high stakes, I guess, and this building of the future that's on lockdown, basically. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the whole story is just sensational. Of course, it was written by what's his name, Alex Garland.
Oh.
Yeah, written and then shadow directed by Alex Garland.
Alan Smithy?
Yeah, Alan Smithy. No, it's Alex Garland. He did, what is the movies he did? Annihilation.
Oh.
He did
that name sounds
Ex Machina.
Oh, he did Ex Machina? Okay.
Yeah, he wrote...
or Ex Machina.
28 Days Later.
What?
Yeah, this guy's incredible. Like, he almost does not miss. I'm just saying. And I'm trying to think of what his later movies were here after that. But
maybe they were misses.
Right but yeah, maybe. But they say he pretty much shadow directed it. Pete Travis is the director, but he was the one behind the scenes, doing it. And yeah, he's really, really good writer. He's oh yeah, he did Men and Civil War. Civil War got mixed reviews. I heard Men was pretty good.
Her what?
Men.
Well, I mean, we can be, but we can also be terrible. Oh!
Anyway, but yeah, he's one of my favorite writers of all time. He's very good. And so this movie is a hoot. You have Lena Headey as Mama.
Oh my gosh, she is just...
Mama is the law. She's not really. Judge Dredd is always the law. Olivia Thirlby, unrecognizable in this almost, because she has short, punk, kind of yellow hair, I guess.
And where did she go?
Hair.
Where did she go?
I don't know.
She was so great. She was so great in the Wackness.
She was in Juno. She was in No Strings Attached. She was in a bunch of stuff. She was in Oppenheimer, actually.
What? Yeah. Okay, so she's doing okay.
She's doing okay. Yeah. She's had a lot of stuff, but not a lot of stuff that I've heard of. I am. But yeah, she's still doing okay, I guess. But man, that movie is fantastic from start to finish, and it is a hoot. I'll tell you.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right, so your video movie corner pick of the week is from 2000.
Red 3D.
What was the year?
Garland's 2012.
2012. Okay. Oh, the year Rocket was born. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you can find it on Max right now.
Yes, you can. See. I'm streaming it right now.
Are you really?
That's why it's so funny that you said that.
Were you gonna pick it today?
Well. We can go into mine in a second. I was and then I wasn't.
Okay. One of my favorite movies of all time. I just want to say Dread is fantastic. Yeah.
Well, my video movie pick of the week has literally changed from when we began the show. because I was going to do something different, and I'm going to save that for another time. But since it's Oscar time, and we talked about an Oscar winner today, we're going to talk about a movie that we literally mentioned minutes ago. My video movie quarter pick of the week is 2007's No Country for Old Men. Not Witness Protection.
Because we halfway mentioned Dread earlier, and that's what got my wheels turning.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to do a completely different movie and a completely different thing, but I just thought about how much I love this movie. No Country for Old Men, of course, written and directed by the Coen brothers, Joel and Ethan. Yes. And they have a way of just like bringing out the best in these actors. And this is a neo-Western, which is funny because their first movie was kind of a neo-Western, Blood Simple. Have you ever seen that?
I know the name.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we were talking about M. Emmett Walsh earlier. He plays, if you can picture M. Emmett Walsh in your mind, do you think Hitman? Do you think Assassin?
Well, no, not really, but I can kind of see it.
In the early 80s, he played a hitman in that movie, Blood Simple. Yes, very good movie. And that's actually the movie where, I don't know which Coen is married to Frances McDormand.
McDormand, yeah.
But that was the first one they cast her in, and they were like, hey, yeah.
Are they married? I didn't know that.
One of them, either Joel or Ethan. I don't know which one.
Not both of them. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, they're both. Yeah, they take turns. Okay, she goes to one house, she goes to another house.
She's amazing. She's always been one of my favorite actresses. She's cool. Incredible.
Well, she's not in No Country for Old Men, but I will tell you who is. I'll tell you who's in this Oscar award-winning movie.
Not many people. Okay.
This is not anyone you know. This movie has one of the best performances of all time from an actor named Javier Bardem, as I mentioned. Javier Bardem, of course, being he's Latino, and I don't know, is he Spanish or is he another?
I don't think he's Spanish.
I don't know,
but I don't want to say for sure.
But
yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is in this movie, and where is my brain? Thanos is in this movie. Help me. I've gone blank.
Oh, Josh.
Yes, Josh Brolin.
Brolin, yeah.
The stepson of Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's right. So this movie, this movie is a neo-modern Western, even though it's set in 1980, and it involves Josh Brolin's character, who's a Vietnam vet who finds a stash of drug cash. All these drug people are dead, so he just takes the money because he thinks nobody else is going to need it. Javier Bardem is the hitman who is hired to find the cash and take out Josh Brolin's character.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is the sheriff who is investigating all of it. And here's one of the best things about the movie, and it won't spoil it. The three characters never actually share the screen. They don't.
Yeah, that's
actually,
right. Oh
they
my
don't
gosh.
meet. Even though Bardem's going after Brolin and Tommy Lee Jones is going after them both. They know what they're doing. They never actually meet. And it's so great. Woody Harrelson is in this movie. The great Stephen Root is in this movie. And, it's got the trademark Coen brothers violence and humor. And it's just a great story. And me and my sister still debate about the ending. I won't say anything because I want you to watch it. But it's just a really good movie, No Country for Old Men. And it does have an ending.
It's been a while since I watched it again. So I'm going to watch it again just for you. It's on Paramount Plus right now, people. And also MGM Plus, but nobody has that. Come on.
Sorry. And Javier Bardem won, I don't know if it was Best Actor or Supporting Actor. Might have been Supporting, the way they framed it.
I think it was, Best Actor?
Was it Best or Supporting?
Let me look real quick because that's very important, I feel.
Okay. As you're saying that, as you're vamping, as you're looking, I'll vamp. So, he won the Oscar playing Anton Chigurh. And the great thing about his character is you don't actually know his nationality exactly because his accent is kind of muted and he sounds like he's Buffalo Bob from Silence of the Lambs in a way, but with an accent. He's got a Dorothy Hamill haircut. He looks like he's trying to fit into modern day society, and he can't. And he has what is probably one of the coolest weapons of all time. He's got a air gun that would be used in a cattle farm to take out people. And he will sometimes let people choose their fate by flipping a coin. And then he'll go, one of the best lines in the movie, call it. Call it. Heads or tails, call it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they won 4 of their 5 nominees.
Best Picture.
No, yeah.
What else?
There's more. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on.
Tell me more.
Nominee. Okay. So they won Best Motion Picture of the Year.
Woohoo!
And then Javier Bardem won Actor in a Supporting Role.
Okay, supporting. Okay.
Yep. Ethan and Joel Coen won Best Achievement in Directing.
Nice. Deserving.
Best Writing Adapted Screenplay, Joel Coen, Ethan Coen.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Based on a book by the great Cormac McCarthy.
And then 4 that didn't win, best in sound editing, sound mixing, film editing, and cinematography, which I'm kind of surprised about that.
Especially sound. Yeah, because they're sound.
But they won the big ones. They won all. They were Anora that year for sure.
Same kind of movie here.
That's why I've always been so disappointed with being disappointed with it. I know that I can't be. There's something I'm missing that I need to rewatch it.
About the movie?
I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very simple, but it's also it's about like the changing tides. Cause like Tommy Lee Jones' character is just like, he's old, he's close to retirement age. It's 1980 and he is just overwhelmed by the violence that seems to be taking over the world at that time.
For sure, yeah.
It's 1980, yeah. So you should see the movie. It's very good. It's got, like I said, it's got the trademark Coen humor and violence, and it goes together well. And I'm sorry, Larry the Cable Guy. I like the way it ends.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah.
I mean, Witness Protection is pretty much the same movie, like I said. Okay, so No Country for Old Men is my ready? Video movie corner. Pick up the wee. We'll fix it in post. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. My head fell. Who runs this here podcast?
The feller behind the curtain.
Oh, really?
The feller you don't see. Yeah.
Papa! Kaboom! That's right. I shot him with my Nerf gun.
Did you shoot an unarmed man? Behind the scenes?
Then he shouldn't have edited my sound so badly. That's right. He shouldn't have edited out.
I'm so sorry.
He shouldn't have edited out my best jokes. That's right. I've killed.
Did he?
Yeah. I've Nerf gunned a lot of people. I've killed men. I've killed women and children. I've killed their pets. I've killed the mood.
Holy crap.
I've killed the dance floor. I've taken 4 turtles and I poured mutagen on them and I raised them and I taught them ninja skills. I killed jokes. That's right. I've done terrible things. I've rented videos and returned them late and not rewound them. So, you best be getting ready. Any of you who don't want to hear a bad joke, best be leaving now. What happened? Oh my goodness.
No, it's like the ghost of Western just took over your podcast.
I think so. Mm-hmm. My God. Sure shooting. We'll probably see you there.
See you there.
It's funny, you know what that is.
I do. That's an old commercial.
Yep, for a gun show that I swear ran every year. And the girl at the end who was, really pretty, obviously.
That's right. Yeah.
She'd say, sure shooting. I'll probably see you there.
Yeah.
There's something about local commercials. They're so great. I got to say real quick. Mm-hmm. There was this commercial on, I'm from the Southwest Arkansas. There was this commercial on Channel 10, KTVE, I think, that ran. I saw it, I swear, one time. This was the late 80s. And local commercials are great because then you got the people who probably shouldn't be acting or reading lines. Yeah. They're like, hey, come on now. We got some cars for you. You should buy some cars. We have cars. They go vroom, vroom. So this guy, I think he was selling mattresses. And he was at some, what looked like local rundown, like no-tell motel. Oh, no. And he said, hey, we sell mattresses for great prices. In fact, we kill high prices. And a guy in a sheet runs around like a ghost and it says high prices. And he takes a rifle and but then here's the best part of the commercial. It ends with a woman for no reason in a bikini laying down on the mattress and saying, come on down, Rick will give you the best deal or whatever.
Oh, wow.
I don't know the company. I don't know what was happening. I never saw it again.
Sex sells. That's one of those things.
For no reason, there was a bikini woman, which describes a lot of 80s TV shows, right?
It does, yeah.
Like
everyone was out bikinis.
Everyone had bikinis. Yeah. I remember the Golden Girls. They had those episodes. Mr. Belvedere, he was in a bikini in some of his episodes. Yeah,
it's weird, really weird.
You remember you talked about the Fall Guy movie, many episodes ago. The TV show The Fall Guy had a character that in the credits was in a bikini. But I never saw that. That scene was never in the show, and I watched that show 1,000 times.
That's funny.
It was I
I've still never seen that or heard of it. So yeah,
maybe you should find. Maybe it's streaming. It was fun.
Maybe
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of a lot of fun, I think we've had a good time here, and I think we've learned something, Batches.
Yeah, we always do.
What have we learned?
I learned that when you hit your toe on something, sometimes it smarts real bad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What did you learn?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I learned that when someone says knock yourself out, you're really not supposed to do it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good lesson.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if someone wants to get in touch with us and tell us the lessons they've learned by watching or listening to us.
If you want to touch us, just comment down below anywhere you are. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcast. And I think that's all we are. You can touch us through Gmail. We've got a NOMS podcast Gmail, NOMS podcast at gmail.com. It's NOMS podcast at gmail.com.
Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. Well,
I want to feel dirty.
Okay. Creature of the night.
Yeah.
There's your Rocky Horror right there. Hey, speaking of wonderful things, though, speaking of fans, I would be remiss if I did not mention that by the time this airs, one of our biggest fans and one of our most loyal listeners, Miss Becca Licious, is getting married this weekend, but by the time it airs, it'll be last weekend.
Nice.
So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, congratulations to Becca Licious. She's an old friend of ours. Becca Licious loves the 80s and stopped loving culture after 92. I'm kidding. She's awesome. She gets all the pop culture references. She loves listening to our show. So, Becca Licious.
Oh, hi, Becky.
Hey, this one was for you, Becca Licious. Yay. So, before we go, I thought I would end it with something funny.
Okay.
Okay, before we go. So, I heard this joke last week, and this is a joke that 1 out of 5 people will get and think is funny. Mm-hmm. So, you will definitely get it, and you listening will probably not think it's funny. So, are you ready, Matches?
I'm ready.
Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there? Who?
Werewolves of London. Woo, werewolves.
Yep, just comment down below what you thought about that joke. We'll get some engagement points. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you at Leho Fuchs getting playing a brief chow mein. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening and watching the Noms. Matt, just take us out.
We'll probably see you there.
If we don't kill you in a saloon first.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.